You know that feeling when you really don't like something, but then you spend a lot of time and effort trying to optimize this task so that it can go as fast as possible. You can just get over with it. And in the end, you found out that you got really good at this thing that you're really bad at. And then that creates a whole dilemma like, should I really pursue doing this or not? That's pretty much me with editing. I really don't like editing because I hate sitting in front of the computer for hours trying to like press some buttons and then like fiddle with mouse. I want to film with a camera. I want to go out there. So how do we make editing go faster for us? I've taken some inspiration from gamers and how they set up their keyboard to work for games. And their rule is basically the left hand never leaves the left side of the keyboard. The right hand never leaves the mouse. I think the core of my workflow surrounds this W key, and all of these keys together, they're mapped to do a lot of different things. Here's a list of custom shortcut keys that really works for me. You guys can map this to your Premiere. The way that the default Premiere Pro hotkeys are laid out across the keyboard, they don't make much sense. For example, the zoom in and out of the timeline is mapped on the minus and plus keys, which is all the way on the right side of the keyboard. I basically moved minus and plus into 1 and 2. So if I want to zoom in and out of the timeline, I just click 1 and 2 to zoom in and out. This makes a lot of sense. When I get a new computer, when I open up Premiere for the first time, this is what I do. I map minus and plus into 1 and 2. I really like the Q and W keys. They are set to ripple edit. Q key basically chops everything before the playhead, and W key chops everything after the playhead. That makes a lot of sense, but what I don't like is the cut tool. First, I don't want to touch the razor tool ever. It's really complicated because you have to select the razor tool, you make a cut, and then you come back. It's 3 clicks. That doesn't make sense. We should be able to do that with 1 click. The default Premiere Pro hotkey for this is Command K, but I use this feature a lot with the Q and W keys, so it doesn't make sense for this key to be in Command K. So basically I mapped Command K to E. So when I click E, it makes a cut. Let's see how that works. If I click E, it makes a cut. I chose E specifically because it's next to the Q and W keys. So basically, when you ripple edit, you click E to make a cut, and then you use the Q and W keys to chop this out. It's really, really fast to do it this way. Moving down to the third row, the A key is set by default, and it maps to the track select everything after tool. If you just use this tool by itself, it selects everything after in all the tracks. If you click shift and use this tool, it selects everything after, but only on one track. Makes a lot of sense, not gonna touch it. Moving on, another commonly used feature in ripple edit is ripple delete. By default, I think that's set to option delete. I ripple delete a lot, and delete is on the most right hand side of the keyboard. It makes no sense to put ripple delete in an inconvenient spot like this, so I'm gonna map it to the left, and I basically map that to the S key. So when I click S, it ripple deletes. See that again? You click S and it ripple deletes. And the next very commonly used tool for me is dissolve. And dissolve is used a lot, especially when I'm doing audio. I want to put a little bit of dissolve to get rid of the audio pops. So basically I select this and then I press D and it dissolves. By default, dissolve is set to shift D. It's a little bit more complicated than I would like, so I just get rid of the shift, and now dissolve is just D. These are my 8 most commonly used hotkeys, and they're all centered around the W section. But there are a few other hotkeys that's also on the left side that I also really like. One of them being Command Shift C. When we record audio, we would like to separate that into separate tracks. And when we try to mix that together in post, we often have to mess around with the left and right channels. So Option Shift C allows me to do that. And while we're at audio, let's talk about gain. So usually when you want to set gain, you would drag this line up and down. This makes no sense for me because you cannot see the audio waveform changing, and also you're limited to plus 12 dB on this line, which I don't like because I would like to dial in numbers for gain settings. So usually what you do is you right click and you select audio gain, and then you dial in number right here. But to get to this faster, I just set that to G. So basically when I click G, it's audio gain. And Command R is also set by default to clip speed and duration. I like this, it's on the left side. Not gonna touch it. This is how I set up my Premiere Pro shortcut keys. This really makes sense for me because it allows me to edit really, really quickly so that I can focus more of my time on recording videos for you guys to see. Again, if you want to do this to yourself, I'll put all of my custom shortcuts on the screen and in the description down below. While you're at it, make sure to comment what you would like to see me do a tutorial on next, and I'll see you guys in the next video.